Hello, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 219. Happy Sunday. And little earlier on a Sunday because Dan requested the live show because he's going to be falling asleep soon. So normally I'm not awake this early on a Sunday. Usually I sleep in and I don't go live until like 8:30 or 9 a.m. Central Time. But I fell asleep on the couch last night at 8:45, and so I was wide awake at 6, which is actually sleeping in. Usually, I wake up at 5 a.m. about half of the week, and then I'll sleep till like 6 the other half. So I was wide awake this morning, and I was actually since my coffee maker takes forever. I started brewing my coffee at 7. It's now 7:50, and when I filled it up, it was still like halfway done. So it's taking like an hour, at least an hour, to brew a pot of coffee. So I'm gonna have to run the vinegar through it and get that sucker cleaned out today because I don't want to wait an hour for my coffee on a Monday morning. So yeah, I'm here, Dan. All disheveled, not shaven, just a freaking mess here. Herman says, even when I'm waiting, I can't catch the beginning. I know. And I think there's got to be a way around that because I'm the same way with Brad every morning. I even refresh. So what I end up doing is I'll just click out of YouTube and then I'll click back in. And then he's been live for a minute, even though 10 seconds ago, I just clicked refresh. So, I'm not sure what's up with YouTube. I'm frozen on my end. I don't know if I'm frozen on your end. Okay, now it just kicked up. So do a countdown. That's a good idea. And I'm going to have to look to see how I do that because I don't know. What's up, George? Good morning, Third Coast. Zach, what's up, everybody? So yeah, so I know that there's like countdowns and stuff. So I think I'm just going to have to do that. And the reason that I think I started doing like I did a set timer, but I was going live, but then it wouldn't publish until the time. So I'm like YouTube. I'm a YouTube moron. I don't really know how to work it. I know how to click to go live. That's about it. StreamYard has one. Not sure how YouTube's works. I did download StreamYard, so I downloaded StreamYard to go on with George and Dan. So maybe I'll check out StreamYard. And now I get ads all the time, the Google ads and Facebook ads. So George bought some Series 1 blasters for opening day. Nice. So actually, that was one thing. I don't really have much to talk about this morning, but that is one thing that I did want to touch on was, so I had to go to Target yesterday to pick up some blue painters tape for my shipments. And I chose Target because, well, it's kind of the closest, it's most convenient for me. But I also wanted to see if there were any Series 1 blasters because I was just going to buy, they're limiting 3 now. So I was going to buy 3, open 1, set 2 aside for opening day. And I figured by now, it's been, 3 weeks since release. I figured that they would be available. And I went in and the card, I actually haven't been to this Target to look at cards for a couple weeks. Completely different. The card section, like I walked. So the card section, like if you walk in, okay. And I wonder if it's a theft preventative theft measure, maybe. Because so if you walk in, so you walk into the front doors, and if you kind of jag over to the right, so there's customer service here, sharp right, and then if you angle up, it's where the cash registers are, and then to the left, there's that last cash register, and then the wall of cards, and then it's like the carts. So usually the cards at this particular Target are like right on that end of that shelf next to the cash register. And it's, sports cards. And then it gets into like some of the non-sports, like wrestling and stuff. And then the second half on the other half is like the Magic and Pokemon stuff. So I walked in, there was like a bunch of people over by customer service. So I didn't take the shortcut. I took the long way around, all the way around the carts. And I just out of habit walked all the way to the end cap where the cards are. And there's no cards there. It's like toys. Like toys and candy. And I'm like, did they move the cards or did they take cards away? But they like rearranged everything. So now the sports cards are like in the middle of the section. So I'm sure it's some type of like preventative maintenance measure. So people aren't like taking a shortcut to the cards on this side. So like maybe they can rope off. I haven't been there like when the vendor's been there in several weeks, maybe a couple months. So I don't know what the situation is, but I bet that's what it was. I bet it was like some type of measure to prevent people from, you know, grabbing something off the corner right there as you walk in. So the only thing that was on the shelf, like it was, so the middle section completely bare except for 5 lonely Heritage hobby boxes that are going to sit there until the vendor takes them back to wherever they go, because nobody's going to pay $125 for a Heritage high number hobby box. Not a single pack, not anything except for those 5 hobby boxes of Heritage high number. So I had to go get painter's tape. So I did go to the toy section because last summer they created an end cap in the toy section. So my local Targets had, you know, a big card section up front, and then they added more cards in the back in the toys on an end cap, and it was mostly supplies, but then it was also like blasters that were kind of like the leftover blasters that nobody wanted. Of course, I guess there's not really any of those now. Everybody wants everything. So I went back there, and that like end cap's not even there anymore. So they did have penny sleeves. They were selling a few months ago. They were selling 1,000 penny sleeves for $9.99. So literally a penny sleeve. And I would buy, if there were any, there was usually only like 1 or 2 there, and I would buy I would basically buy what was there. So they did have some penny sleeves, but they were 500 for $5.99. So price went up a little bit, just over a penny per sleeve. I'm pretty good on penny sleeves. The top loaders I bought came with like 4,000. And then I've got probably another 1,000 to 1,500 from my card shop runs. So I didn't buy any penny sleeves. Got my painter's tape, and that was all. So George bought his from StockX for $22. So yeah, so my plan now for opening day is I guess whatever I can find on Target shelves, which I don't know will be anything. I may go back to my card shop. I don't know if I talked about this on the show. I maybe I dropped it in chat. I think I dropped it in chat, maybe on Brad's chat. But when I was at my LCS this week, they have Bowman 2020 Bowman Draft. What's up, Jenny? They have 2020 Bowman Draft for $375 for a jumbo box, which is the 3 autos. And I saw that, and I'm like, that looks like a really good deal. Who would have thought that this is where we're at? Like I've caught up, and now I just fall into the trap that $375 is a good price for a hobby box. So I almost bought it. Like, I'm like, that sounds like a really good deal. And then I looked, and then like, I think that was just like starry-eyed in the card shop. You get the card glaze through your eyes, and you've got baseball colored glasses on, and you just kind of forget reality for a moment. I forgot reality. So so jumbo boxes are the old hobby boxes, but they did add autos. So now, like for Bowman Draft, there's only 2 SKUs of hobby box, 2 hobby boxes. So there's the jumbo box, which you get 3 autos, and then there's the super jumbo box, which is 5 autos. So I bought my Bowman Draft hobby box at release from Topps.com for I think $320. It was like $300 plus like tax and stuff. So it was $320, which I didn't want to pay. Like, and then all of a sudden I'm driving home and I remember, wait a second. I remember I wasn't even going to buy a box for $300 because that's outrageous. And now here I am about to fork over $375 for the same thing. What am I thinking? So then I got home and I started looking around. I go to Blowout, Dave & Adams, and they're selling for $600. Well, they're listed for $600. I don't know if anybody's buying them at those prices, but $600. So $375 at the LCS is actually a pretty good deal. And I love Bowman. So I've had a lot of fun with 2020 Bowman. So if I get an itch to go and buy, maybe I could sell my Don Zimmers. I can sell a few Don Zimmers and buy a $400 hobby box with my 91 Topps Don Zimmer sales. Kidding. I'm not selling my Don Zimmers. So George says factoring in shipping, import charges, and tax came to about $26 per blaster. That's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, if you want something to open for rip for opening day, that's a good price. And that's kind of the thing. Like it doesn't have to be like a resale. Like I don't know where there was a discussion. It might have been on the About the Cards podcast Wednesday night, and it's like, we can rip boxes without it's not all about like what we pull and what we can sell it for. Like a $375 let's backtrack it to my box. $320. Like there's no way like a year ago I would have paid $320 for a hobby box. But I bought some of the Bowman Draft First Edition, and I freaking loved it. So when I spent $320 on a Bowman Draft box, it wasn't for the idea of I need to pull $320 worth of cards or $400 worth of cards to make it worth my while. I did it for fun. I actually wanted the cards and opened the cards. Now, am I reselling the hits? Absolutely. That's just what I've always done. That it's not like my new flipper mentality. That's how I've been hobby wired since like I was 8 years old. Like I was having card shops at my mom's garage sale when I was 8. So that's all. So I could buy, whatever I was collecting at the time. That's just, I've been wired that way for hobby forever. And sometimes I buy hobby boxes. Now for the most part, I'm looking for deals that I can flip and grow my PC or buy the next thing. But sometimes I just want to buy stuff to open and enjoy. And so $375 is a crazy price for a hobby box. But if I enjoy it and I have that $375 set aside for something like this and it's opening day, let's do it. So I haven't decided if I'm gonna do it yet, but not everything has to be like, well, I'm only gonna get $100. It's not worth it. Sometimes the enjoyment for me, like I bought a case of Allen and Ginter last year. I took 1 year off, I think maybe 2 years off. I was buying cases of Allen and Ginter every year. And I bought a case last year because I boosted my eBay store and I had that money set aside. I was basically we've been in quarantine essentially for a year. Wanted something to look forward to. And at $1,500 for a case, not very good if I want to rip and flip. And it wasn't. It was a bloodbath. Lost a lot of money on it, but that's not why I bought it. I bought it because it's Allen and Ginter means a lot to me and I enjoy opening it and I had a lot of fun doing it. So while I do look for deals and sometimes I want to buy something that I can resell for profit to fund the next purchase or PC, I'm all about that, but sometimes it's all about the fun. Third Coast found a couple retail boxes at Walmart. I haven't checked my local Walmarts yet. I don't even know if the tins, did somebody mention tins in here? I know that there are tins you could pre-order on a couple websites back, a month or two ago. But I haven't seen any in the wild. I haven't seen any pop up on like Facebook groups or Twitter, so they must not be out yet. I have a Walmart close to me that I don't really. I'm retailed out because of the lines and just the chase. It's not, it's not just it's just not fun for me anymore. I've and people dog on people waiting in line for cards. I mean, we wait in line for like everything. I don't know why people have to dog on people waiting in line. Now, when there's like 50 people and it's one box and you're not guaranteed, I'm not going to waste my time. But if I was enjoying it, comes back to that, do you have the time? And are you enjoying it? Then do it. Like last summer, I'd take an afternoon off from work and I'd go to a couple Target stores. And, at that time there was only 10 of us waiting. Now there's like 50. And now it's like, okay, it's not worth it. It's not fun anymore. Now it's like, it's a hassle. So now I'll just, when the dust settles, if there's anything left over, I'll pick up a blaster or two. But that's about it. But maybe this week or maybe next week, I'll check out Walmart. Retail runs just aren't doing it for me anymore. Let's see. Take it back. 3B, please clear all grading with the hobby police on Twitter. Herman's getting all his Zims graded. There you go. Make big money. Haven't seen cards in the wild for a while. I've had some luck with finding stuff. It's really weird because when Topps first was released, a buddy on Twitter told me, hey, he's stocking this Target now, which is the one near me. I'm like, I'm just going to wait till the dust settles. So after the 30 or 40 people that were waiting, I got there an hour or two later and it looked like the vendor had just stocked. It was insane. Like Topps until the eye, as far as the eye could see. So we do have, here and there, but then this week it was like absolutely nothing. George says he can actually sell these at 50 per box. Wow. Cheaper than the hobby shops. What's up, Ryan? Good morning. Could easily make 24 per box if I could flip. Yeah, Herman, A&G is fun. And it's just, I used to hate, here's the funny thing. I used to hate Allen and Ginter because my collection wasn't as crazy as it is now. But I was strictly baseball, and I hated having football cards and basketball cards and hockey cards. So when I would pick up a small collection here and there, I didn't have a place for it. I only want baseball. And so if I bought a blaster of Allen and Ginter, it's like, okay, I like these baseball cards, but now I've got this crap over here. Where do I even put it? But then I think what did it for me was I bought a hobby box and I pulled a Willie Mays rip card, and it's like, whoa, this is cool. And I've had up until probably maybe even this year, I've had awesome luck with Allen and Ginter. And this year my case was an absolute, I bet every year I would pull a card that would sell for 150 or more, easy. And for the most part, I would pull my case hit would sell for between 300 and 500. And then this year, I think the most I sold a card for was definitely less than 100 out of a whole case. Really didn't pull anything out of it. So even though it's fun for me, I probably won't buy a case of Ginter this year. Maybe I'll pick up a couple hobby boxes. I'm still debating. I love Topps Heritage and I love the 72 design. And I've been going back and forth, and obviously the prices keep going up, which is just natural. And I know that. But I haven't pulled the trigger on pre-ordering any Heritage. Guys in Houston hoarding and selling on Facebook and OfferUp. We've seen a ton of that here. I'm in Madison, Wisconsin. We've seen a ton of that. It's tapered off lately, but I think that's because we're kind of in between. Well, for the most part, because now they're limiting quantities pretty much all over. What I really enjoy is there was a guy who he must have had an in with somebody because he and it must because it was with two like Walmarts south of me, like in the city's south. And he would have like just hordes of everything. And so I haven't seen him on the groups anymore. So hopefully somebody stepped in and they're like, no, we're not doing this anymore. Because that guy, I'm all about the flip life in that, but when you're doing it like that, it's like, okay, that's definitely on the sketchy, slimy side. George's plan to rip until I get my fill and then sell a few to offset cost. Heck yeah. Third Coast is an AMG fan. Joined the crowd. Sold my crypto card, right? I sold my Dave Portnoy's. I was going through a few weeks ago, and I'm like, I was pulling cards to list for 99 cents. And I'm like, oh, Dave Portnoy, this will sell for 99 cents. And I'm looking at sold sales and they sell for like $99. I'm like, oh crap. So I sold the first one sold as a buy it now for I think $90 for a Dave Portnoy base Allen and Ginter card. And then the second, and then one sold at auction. Somebody sold one at auction for like 125, like right after. And I'm like, maybe I'm leaving money on the table. So I'm like, I don't care. If I get 20 for it, I'll be happy. So I listed at 7-day auction and it closed at like, I think $55. So, still, I'll take it almost $150 for two base Allen and Ginter cards of Dave Portnoy. I'll take it all day. So some of those cards are crazy. The Manny Pacquiao sells for a lot. He was in, I think, 2010 or 2011. I actually just sold Stan Lee for $5, just a base Stan Lee Allen and Ginter card. In 2015, the Rocky. I tweeted a picture of those that I picked up last weekend. Those still sell for like $5 a pop. I think I saw like the kind of the average sales for the set of 5 is like $30 to $40. $40 1-day auction for the crypto. Nice. The egg. See, and the egg was in a year that I didn't buy much Ginter. Was the egg in 18 or 19? One of those years I only bought a few blasters. Was the egg with Gary Viner with Gary V? Because I do have a Gary V card. But in one of those years, I only bought, a few blasters, and it might have been both years. But I never pulled an egg because the egg was popular when it came out. Maybe not like at release, but shortly after, the egg was selling for decent money. I don't think it was selling for what it's going for now. Like in this, the egg was 19. Okay, and that was the Gary V year. Gary V was in everything in 2019. And yeah, that was the last national. So, yep. So I did not pull an egg. I only bought a few blasters. But yeah, fun stuff. So I was writing up, and I'm in the middle of actually when I get done with this, I'm gonna go back upstairs and finish my blog post on eBay File Exchange. So I spent like all day doing shipping, and then like at 6, I'm like, okay, I need to step away. So I went upstairs, and then I got bored on the couch and I started typing up. Actually, I started it on Friday night, and then I kind of added to it last night. And then I was able to take some screenshots of File Exchange from my phone, from the app. So that helped. So I'm like about halfway done. I will have that published. It's only 8:15 for a Sunday. This is like super early for me. Usually I'm still in bed at this time. So I will have that published probably in the next hour. So I am in the middle of, so right now I'm to the step where we're going to walk through the spreadsheet. I'm going to provide the spreadsheet template for File Exchange. And then I've got to go back and kind of reread just to make it, kind of an easy process. Because it's simple after you kind of, for me, I'm a learn by doing. So I can read like articles like this all day long and not learn a thing. I'm not going to learn how to do it until I just get my hands dirty and start doing it. So, and that's how I kind of learned. I just was, I started playing with it, got really frustrated. Chris came along, helped out, provided his template. And that's what really led me to the results that I'm having with it in as far as like bulk listing. I think I listed 150 cards on Friday, and I've probably already sold 20 or more of those 150 listed. So I'm having good results with not only the process of getting them entered and uploaded, but the sales part as well. So that's going to be finished up today. And then for anybody that checks it out, let me know if I can reword things differently to make it a little easier. Everybody reads directions and instructions differently. But I just want to make it as simple as possible. George enjoys learning by screwing up. That's the easiest way to learn. That's the easiest way to learn. Learn by failing and mistakes. I guess it's not a failure if you learn from it. There's nothing. And when you're dealing with like spreadsheets and I took like 3 Excel classes in college 10 years ago. And like, I'm still like, I feel like I know nothing about it. I wish I would have kept the textbooks. That would have helped me a little bit in some of these things. Herman's got the lineup set for Hobby Roundtable. I like it. Nice. I think that's coming up on the 20th, Saturday, the 20th. Oh, shoot. Herman, what's the date on that? Because actually, I think I'll be done. I think our baseball draft, my Keeper League fantasy baseball draft is, I think, that day. So Herman, what's the date on Hobby Roundtable? But I think our draft is at like 4 p.m. So we'll be done by then. Oh no, ours is March 28th. My draft is March 28th, 4 p.m. Even if that Hobby Roundtable is on the 28th, I'll be done with my draft by I think 7 or whenever. So good stuff. So that's all I had for today. Made my retail run yesterday. Didn't come up with anything. The 20th. Okay, cool. Totally in. Listed a few things. File Exchange blog post coming up. So I'm about halfway through. Gonna refill the coffee and tackle that, and then get back to more shipping. So thanks for tuning in. Dan's probably sleeping by now. Have a great Sunday. You'll be able to find the blog post 1millioncubs.com. Link to the eBay store is also on that page. You can go directly to the eBay store, 99centcards.com. There's volume discounts in my eBay store. Buy 3 or more cards, and it's 10% off automatic at checkout. I've got a bunch of 99-cent cards so you can stock up. And if you buy 50 or more, it's 20% off. So basically buy $50 worth of cards and get them for 40. And I've got some pretty good deals in that store. And by the way, I haven't updated like any prices. So there may be some like hidden gems in the store. Usually people are pretty fast and pick those off quickly. But there might be some hidden gems in the eBay store. So that's it. 99centcards.com, 1millioncubs.com. Have a great Sunday, and that blog post on eBay File Exchange will be uploaded here in the next, I'll say, 90 minutes. My computer upstairs a little slow. Need to do some updates. So in the next 90 minutes, I'll have that posted. So have a great Sunday, and we'll be back tomorrow.